We often chase success as if it's something waiting for us at the finish line, a prize handed to those who run the fastest, climb the highest, or shout the loudest. But success doesn't start when you get the promotion, build the business, or gain recognition. Success begins long before that. It begins within you. The truth is, the foundation of every great achievement lies in one simple but powerful principle: work on yourself first. Most people spend their lives trying to change their surroundings, their jobs, their relationships, their luck. But they forget the one constant in every situation: themselves. You can't build a better career without becoming a better professional. You can't build meaningful relationships without understanding yourself first. And you can't lead others effectively until you've learned to lead yourself. Growth on the outside always starts with growth on the inside. Think about it. We live in a world that rewards visibility, but not necessarily authenticity. We're told to look successful, not become successful. But true success doesn't depend on what the world sees. It depends on who you are when no one's watching. When you invest time in understanding your strengths, improving your weaknesses, and mastering your emotions, you gain something that no title or paycheck can buy: control over your inner world. Working on yourself means asking difficult questions. Am I doing my best? Am I learning every day? Do I take responsibility for my choices? It means being honest about your flaws, consistent in your efforts, and patient with your progress. The world might measure success in numbers, but real success is measured in character. If you focus on becoming more disciplined, more humble, and more resilient, opportunities will naturally follow. The irony is, when you stop chasing success and start chasing growth, success starts chasing you. When you improve your mindset, your habits, and your skills, everything around you begins to shift. You attract better people. You make wiser decisions. You handle challenges differently. Success stops being something you achieve once. It becomes something you live every day. The secret isn't in finding the perfect job, the perfect strategy, or the perfect timing. The secret is in building yourself into someone who can thrive no matter the job, adapt to any strategy, and make the most of any moment. Work on your mindset, your discipline, your curiosity. Work on your ability to listen, to learn, to grow. Because the strongest investment you can ever make is in you. When you work on yourself first, success stops being a destination. It becomes your identity. Fef keynotes of the speech: success begins within you, not in external achievements. Growth on the outside always follows growth on the inside. True success is measured by character, not by titles or recognition. Focusing on personal development naturally attracts opportunities. The greatest investment you can make is the one you make in yourself. Success begins within you, not in external achievements. This idea challenges almost everything we've been taught about what it means to succeed. From a young age, we're conditioned to associate success with what we can see and measure: the grades we get, the salary we earn, the house we buy, the status we display. The world around us celebrates trophies, not transformations. Yet, if you look closely at those who truly sustain success, who find meaning, peace, and purpose in what they do, you'll notice a common pattern. They started by building themselves before they built anything else. The reason success begins within is simple. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Every decision you make, every risk you take, every dream you chase, all of it originates from your mindset, your discipline, your confidence, and your values. You can only perform at the level you've prepared yourself for internally. If you don't have clarity, no amount of strategy will help. If you don't have self-belief, no opportunity will feel enough. And if you don't have resilience, even small failures will break you. Real success is less about what you do and more about who you become in the process. Many people spend their lives chasing validation from society, from family, from friends. They measure success by comparison, constantly asking, am I doing better than others? But that question keeps you trapped in a cycle of insecurity. When you define success based on external markers, you give the power of your happiness to things you cannot control. There will always be someone wealthier, more talented, or more recognized than you. But when success comes from within, from knowing you're growing, learning, and giving your best each day, no comparison can shake your peace. Success then stops being a competition. It becomes a commitment to your own evolution. Working on your inner self is like strengthening the roots of a tree. You can't see them, but they determine how tall the tree can grow and how long it can stand. The storms of life, rejection, failure, loss will always come. But if your roots are strong, you don't collapse, you bend, you adapt, you rise again. Inner success means developing the qualities that sustain you: patience when things move slowly, humility when they move fast, and gratitude no matter how they turn out. These inner victories are what create stability in an unpredictable world. Think about people who achieve great things but still feel empty. They have everything they once dreamed of, yet something feels missing. That's because they reached the top of a ladder that was leaning against the wrong wall. They built a life of achievements without building the emotional and spiritual foundation to enjoy it. External success without inner peace is like a mansion built on sand, beautiful from the outside, but fragile at its core. You can't fill an internal void with external rewards. True success is alignment, when what you do, who you are, and what you value all move in the same direction. Inner success also builds confidence, not the loud kind that needs to be seen, but the quiet kind that can't be shaken. When you know who you are, what you stand for, and what you bring to the table, you stop begging the world for permission. You start acting with purpose instead of fear. You stop chasing opportunities and start creating them. Confidence built on self-awareness is stronger than any praise the world can offer because it doesn't depend on approval, it depends on truth. And that's the beauty of starting within. You gain control over the one thing that never leaves your side, yourself. The world can take away your job, your money, your comfort, even your certainty, but it can never take away your mindset unless you let it. If your sense of success is built on who you are rather than what you have, no loss can destroy you. It can only teach you. Every challenge becomes a lesson, every setback a chance to grow. It's easy to look at successful people and think they got lucky. But if you study them deeply, you'll find something more powerful than luck: preparation. They worked tirelessly on their habits, their emotions, their clarity of vision. They spent years shaping their inner world so that when opportunity knocked, they were ready to answer. The moment you begin that same inner work, you start becoming the kind of person success is naturally drawn to. Because success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. And that becoming always begins from within. Growth on the outside always follows growth on the inside. It's a principle so simple yet so often ignored. We live in a time where everyone wants to change their circumstances, their environment, their results. But very few want to change themselves. People want better jobs without developing better skills. They want healthier relationships without becoming more understanding. They want more opportunities without building the discipline to handle them. But the truth is, the world around you is a mirror, constantly reflecting who you are within. If you want to see something different on the outside, you must first create that difference inside yourself. Every external breakthrough begins with an internal shift. You cannot have a successful business if your mind is filled with doubt. You cannot attract genuine respect if you don't respect yourself. You cannot lead others if you haven't learned to lead your emotions. The inner world sets the boundaries of the outer world. It decides how much pressure you can handle, how you react to failure, and how you interpret success. Without inner growth, outer success becomes temporary, something you can reach but not sustain. Because sooner or later, life will test the strength of your foundation. It's easy to focus on visible results because they're measurable. You can track your income, your followers, your grades, your achievements. But what about patience? What about emotional control, self-awareness, empathy, and integrity? These are invisible skills, yet they determine how far and how long you can go. People often say, I'll be happy when I achieve this goal. But happiness doesn't come from achieving. It comes from evolving. The more you grow inside, the more peace, clarity, and strength you carry into every situation. And that energy transforms everything around you. Growth on the inside means taking responsibility for your reactions, your habits, and your mindset. It means not blaming the world for your lack of progress, but asking, what can I learn from this? It's easy to point fingers when life doesn't go as planned. But external change without internal awareness is like painting over a cracked wall. It looks fine for a while, but the cracks always reappear. Until you fix what's broken inside, no amount of external success can bring lasting satisfaction. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to fix external problems with external solutions. They change jobs when they're unhappy, only to find themselves unhappy again. They end relationships but repeat the same patterns with new people. They move cities hoping for a fresh start but carry the same mindset wherever they go. The truth is, location doesn't change your life, perspective does. You can't outrun yourself. If you don't do the inner work, the same lessons will keep repeating in different forms until you learn them. Think of your inner growth as a lens through which you see the world. The clearer that lens becomes, the better you understand everything around you. A person with a strong inner foundation doesn't crumble when plans fail, they adapt. They don't see obstacles as signs to quit, but as opportunities to grow stronger. They realize that success isn't about avoiding failure, but about transforming through it. When you develop that mindset, even challenges become fuel for growth. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? The reason many people never reach their full potential is that they spend their lives managing outcomes instead of managing themselves. They focus on the next milestone, the next achievement, the next applause, but never pause to examine who they are becoming in the process. Growth on the inside requires silence, reflection, and honesty. It's uncomfortable because it forces you to face your fears, insecurities, and limitations. But it's also the most powerful journey you can take, because when you conquer yourself, the world no longer controls you. Inner growth gives you a sense of stability that no external achievement can replace. When you're grounded from within, your value doesn't depend on circumstances. You can lose money, but not your confidence. You can face rejection, but not lose your direction. You can make mistakes, but still believe in your ability to improve. That stability allows you to take risks, to explore, to innovate, because your sense of worth no longer depends on success alone. It depends on growth, on progress, on becoming more tomorrow than you were today. The outer world rewards results, but life rewards evolution. When you grow internally, the results will always follow. Maybe not instantly, but inevitably. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the tree the next day, but something powerful is happening underground. The deeper the roots, the stronger the growth. So if you're not seeing the results you want yet, don't rush to change your environment. Change yourself first. Because every real transformation, every sustainable success, and every lasting achievement begins within, and everything else grows from there. True success is measured by character, not by titles or recognition. In a world obsessed with status, power, and visibility, this idea may sound unfamiliar. Yet, it's the most essential truth about what it means to live a meaningful life. We often see people who appear to have everything: wealth, influence, and fame, yet they feel empty inside. On the surface, they seem successful, but beneath it, there's a void that no external achievement can fill. The reason is simple: success built on titles is fragile, but success built on character is permanent. Titles can be taken away, recognition can fade, but who you are at your core stays with you forever. Character is what defines you when no one's watching. It's the silent strength that shapes your choices, guides your values, and determines how you treat others. True success isn't about how much you earn or how many people know your name. It's about how you make people feel, how you handle failure, and how you stay grounded when everything around you is changing. A person with strong character doesn't need applause to feel accomplished because their fulfillment comes from within. We often equate success with external achievements: promotions, awards, social media followers, or public praise. But those things only measure visibility, not value. Character, on the other hand, measures integrity, resilience, and consistency. Qualities that can't be bought or faked. You can deceive the world for a while, but you can never deceive yourself. Eventually, your character reveals itself in how you respond to pressure, temptation, and disappointment. When life tests you, your title won't protect you. Only your character will. The foundation of real success lies in doing the right thing, even when it's not the easy thing. It's choosing honesty when lies are more convenient. It's admitting mistakes instead of hiding them. It's standing up for what's right, even when you stand alone. These moments don't earn applause, but they build integrity. And integrity is the invisible currency of trust and respect. The people who create lasting impact in this world aren't the ones chasing recognition. They're the ones guided by principle. They understand that doing what's right will always outlast doing what's popular. Character is also tested in how you treat others when you have power. It's easy to be kind when you need help, but real strength shows when you don't need anything from someone and still choose to treat them with dignity. True success means lifting others as you rise, not stepping on them to climb higher. Your legacy won't be defined by how much you accomplish for yourself, but by how many people you helped along the way. People may forget your position, but they'll never forget your kindness. We've seen countless examples of individuals who reached the top of their fields, only to fall because their character couldn't sustain their success. Talent can open doors, but character decides how long those doors stay open. The world celebrates achievement, but it's character that keeps achievement meaningful. It's what allows you to stay humble in victory and graceful in defeat. Because the truth is, the higher you climb, the more character matters. The world doesn't need more people with impressive resumes. It needs more people with unwavering integrity. Developing character is not about perfection. It's about self-awareness. It's recognizing your flaws and working to improve them. It's learning from failure instead of hiding from it. Every mistake you make is an invitation to grow stronger inside. When you face hardship, your titles won't comfort you. Your resilience will. When you lose everything, your recognition won't rebuild you. Your determination will. Success measured by character means finding peace in knowing that who you are is enough, regardless of what the world says. There's also a quiet dignity in being consistent, in showing up every day with effort, honesty, and humility. The world often overlooks those people because they don't chase attention. But they are the backbone of progress, the ones who make a difference not by shouting, but by showing. Their success doesn't scream, it speaks through their actions. That's what makes character so powerful. It doesn't need to be announced. It's visible in your patience, your discipline, and your kindness. When you focus on building your character, recognition becomes irrelevant. You stop measuring yourself by external applause and start measuring yourself by internal peace. You stop asking, how much have I gained? And start asking, how much have I grown? That shift changes everything. Because while titles fade, character compounds. Every honest action strengthens it. Every selfless choice deepens it. Every challenge refines it. And in the end, it's not the awards on your shelf or the applause of others that define your success. It's the person you become in the process. Focusing on personal development naturally attracts opportunities. This truth often goes unnoticed because most people are taught to chase opportunities directly, to network harder, apply more, or impress others to get ahead. But what if the real path to opportunity doesn't begin with chasing, but with becoming? The world has a strange way of rewarding people who are prepared, focused, and consistently improving themselves. When you invest in becoming better, not just in skill, but in mindset, discipline, and awareness, opportunities start finding you. You don't have to push as hard to be seen because excellence has its own gravity. It pulls the right chances toward you. The problem is, most people want results before they built readiness. They want success without the struggle, recognition without responsibility, and growth without patience. But opportunities don't come to those who wait. They come to those who prepare. Think about how nature works. Flowers don't chase bees. They simply bloom, and the bees come to them. That's what personal development does. It makes you bloom. It makes you valuable, confident, and capable enough that the world begins to notice, trust, and invest in you. Personal development is not just about learning new things. It's about becoming a better version of yourself every day. It's about sharpening your strengths and addressing your weaknesses. It's about understanding your emotions, managing your reactions, and aligning your actions with your goals. When you commit to constant self-improvement, you're not just adding skills to your toolbox, you're building the foundation that supports every future success. You start to think differently, act differently, and make decisions that reflect long-term vision instead of short-term comfort. Opportunities are often hidden behind challenges, and personal growth is what gives you the courage to face them. When you develop yourself, you stop being afraid of difficult situations. Instead, you begin to see them as stepping stones, as experiences that prepare you for something greater. Every failure teaches resilience. Every uncomfortable moment builds patience. Every setback strengthens character. People who continuously grow are not afraid of uncertainty because they trust their ability to adapt. That self-trust becomes a magnet for opportunity because the world loves people who can handle change. When you focus on personal growth, your energy changes. You start to attract people, conversations, and experiences that match your new level of awareness. You stop wasting time in circles that drain your potential and start finding people who challenge and inspire you. Growth attracts growth. Confidence attracts confidence. When you elevate yourself, you naturally elevate your environment. That's why focusing on becoming the right person matters more than trying to find the right opportunity. When you are ready, the opportunity will recognize you. Many people fail not because they lack potential, but because they meet the right opportunity before they are ready for it. Preparation is what turns an opportunity into success. Without it, even the best chance can slip through your fingers. Personal development ensures that when your moment arrives, whether it's a promotion, a business idea, or a meaningful relationship, you have the wisdom, patience, and skill to handle it. It's not luck that makes someone thrive. It's the inner work they did long before anyone was watching. Personal growth also builds clarity, and clarity is one of the strongest attractors of opportunity. When you know who you are and what you want, you stop scattering your energy. You stop chasing every shiny thing and focus on what truly matters. That focus creates momentum, and momentum builds visibility. People start noticing your commitment, your discipline, your authenticity. Suddenly, doors that once seemed closed begin to open, not because you forced them to, but because you became the kind of person those doors were meant for. There's a simple truth about opportunity. It doesn't belong to the loudest person in the room. It belongs to the most prepared. The world is always searching for capable, reliable, and consistent people, and personal development makes you that person. Every hour you spend improving your craft, every book you read, every lesson you learn quietly builds a reputation that speaks for you when you're not around. You don't have to beg for chances when your work and your growth speak louder than your words. Focusing on personal development also changes how you see the world. You stop waiting for perfect conditions because you realize growth creates its own conditions. You stop seeing rejection as failure and start seeing it as feedback. You begin to understand that every delay, every obstacle, and every test is preparing you for something greater. The moment you adopt this mindset, opportunities stop feeling accidental and start feeling inevitable because you've trained yourself to be ready for them. The truth is, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you want better opportunities, become a better version of yourself. If you want success, become someone who deserves it through effort, discipline, and humility. When you work on your mind, your skills, and your character, life starts to align in ways that feel almost magical. But it's not magic, it's growth meeting timing. And that combination creates what the world calls opportunity. The greatest investment you can make is the one you make in yourself. We live in a world where people are constantly looking for where to put their money. In businesses, in stocks, in material possessions. But few realize that the most valuable place to invest is within their own mind, their own growth, and their own potential. Everything you build in life, from your career to your relationships, is a reflection of who you are. If you want to create something extraordinary, you have to start with the person behind it. No external investment can yield lasting success unless the person managing it has invested first in their own development. Investing in yourself doesn't just mean acquiring more education or professional training. Though those are part of it, it means cultivating the qualities that make you stronger, wiser, and more capable. It's about developing your emotional intelligence, your discipline, your ability to communicate, and your resilience in the face of uncertainty. It's learning to understand your fears instead of avoiding them, to take responsibility instead of making excuses, and to keep moving forward even when progress feels slow. Every time you choose to grow, instead of staying comfortable, you're making an investment that multiplies over time. The returns of investing in yourself are far greater than any financial reward. Knowledge never depreciates, discipline never loses value, and experience never goes out of style. These things compound. The more you learn, the more you can achieve. The more you achieve, the more confident you become. And the more confident you are, the more you dare to explore new possibilities. Growth feeds on itself. When you invest in who you're becoming, you build a kind of wealth that no economic downturn or external crisis can take away. The truth is, the world pays you in proportion to the value you bring. If you want to earn more, contribute more, or make a bigger impact, the first step is to increase your own value. You don't become valuable by waiting for opportunities. You become valuable by preparing for them. Every skill you learn, every challenge you overcome, and every new perspective you gain makes you more capable of creating value for others. And when you become valuable, opportunities, income, and influence naturally follow. You don't have to chase success when you are prepared to deserve it. Investing in yourself also means protecting your mental and emotional health. You cannot perform at your best if you are constantly drained, distracted, or disconnected from your purpose. Taking care of your mind, setting healthy boundaries, and surrounding yourself with people who inspire you are forms of investment too. The time you spend reading, reflecting, exercising, or learning isn't wasted. It's the foundation for everything else you'll do. You are your most important asset, and like any valuable asset, you must nurture and protect it. Many people hesitate to invest in themselves because the results aren't immediate. You can't always see the impact of reading one book, practicing one skill, or making one decision to improve. But growth compounds quietly, it builds in the background, and one day it shows up as confidence, clarity, or a breakthrough that changes your entire life. You don't see the roots of a tree growing underground, but they are what make the tree stand tall. The same goes for your inner development. It may be invisible for a while, but it's what gives you the strength to rise higher. When you prioritize personal investment, you also stop depending on luck or circumstance. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you or give you a chance. You realize that the power to change your life lies within you. Investing in yourself builds independence, the ability to create opportunities instead of waiting for them. It gives you control over your destiny because no matter what happens around you, you carry within you the tools, the mindset, and the resilience to rebuild. That's a kind of security no amount of money can buy. The people who make the biggest difference in the world are not those who had the best opportunities. They're the ones who were most prepared to use them. They spent years learning, practicing, and improving when no one was watching. They made sacrifices to build the person they needed to become. And that's what separates dreamers from achievers. Achievers invest in the unseen work, the quiet progress, and the inner transformation that success demands. They understand that success isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you grow into. Investing in yourself is also the purest form of self-respect. It's a declaration that you believe in your own potential enough to nurture it. It means valuing your time, your energy, and your purpose. You can't expect others to invest in you, whether it's trust, opportunity, or support, if you're not willing to invest in yourself first. The effort you put into becoming your best self doesn't just benefit you, it benefits everyone around you. You become a source of inspiration, guidance, and strength for others simply by choosing to grow. Every great journey begins with that one decision: to stop waiting for someone else to change your life and start building yourself. Because when you do that, you become unstoppable. You create a version of yourself capable of turning every challenge into a lesson, every obstacle into a stepping stone, and every dream into reality. And in the end, you realize that the most powerful return on investment isn't in what you gain, but in who you become. Success is not something you find out in the world, it's something you build within yourself. The greatest truth about success is that it's not defined by wealth, fame, or recognition, but by the person you become along the way. When you work on yourself first, everything else begins to align. Your mindset sharpens, your character strengthens, and your ability to handle life deepens. You stop chasing validation and start living with purpose. You realize that success isn't a finish line to cross, but a journey of constant growth. The moment you start investing in your inner world, your thoughts, your habits, your discipline, the outer world starts to respond differently. Opportunities begin to appear, relationships become more meaningful, and challenges transform into lessons. The path to success isn't about running faster, competing harder. It's about becoming wiser, calmer, and more self-aware. True success is living each day as the best version of yourself, focused, grounded, and grateful. So if you want to change your life, stop asking how to get ahead and start asking how to grow within. Because when you become the kind of person who's ready for success, success will have no choice but to find you. Work on yourself first, and everything else will follow.